In this video, you will learn how to master the Zentangle inspired pattern called Nipa. This is the second video of a series of 7 classes. By the end of the series, you would have mastered 6 different Zentangle inspired patterns, and you're going to be able to recreate this piece of artwork. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ingrid, and I'm a holistic wellness practitioner at My Inner Palette. So very quickly, before we move forward with the video, remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and do check the description box below because I have leave you a beautiful gift in a link. One of the ways that I choose to engage with well-being is connecting with our inner child. And for that, it's very important to follow creative pursuits. So in this case is where the Zentangle inspired patterns plus connecting with the creativity comes together, because you can create a lot of well-being by just being present on the moment while you're creating. And this doodling, mindful doodling, is just so amazing to create that space for yourself, and at the same time that you're connecting with your inner child and let it out to play. So without further ado, let's jump into the class. First of all, we're gonna be going through all the art supplies that we need. So we need a piece of paper, or in this case it's a little sketchbook that I have particularly for Zentangle inspired patterns. Then we're gonna be needing some pigment liners. Here I have a box that it has different sizes of pigment liners, so you can see that it goes from the thicker to the finer line. And sometimes I might use a bigger one, some other times I might use a smaller one, but if you only have one available, that's totally fine. You can start with whatever you have at home. And I also have a pencil and an eraser. Hello my friends, lovely to have you back. So today we're gonna be continuing with another pattern that is called Nipa. So it's spelled like this. And we're gonna start again with the same 4 points to create a square. These are just practice squares, so they're gonna be, in this case I'm doing 4.5 centimeters on each side approximately. Just don't be caught up with the measurements, and just do something that is small enough that you can practice, and you can practice a few times. So what we're doing is reviewing. If you haven't seen the previous video, we were working on this pattern above. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you go and see how this one works. This is going to be the second pattern that we're going to be doing of a series of 6 patterns that then we're going to create a full Zentangle inspired square that is going to be bigger using all the 6 patterns. So stay tuned for the next coming videos that we're going to be releasing in this series, so that we can just at the end of the week create a full Zentangle inspired pattern together. So once we have the 4 dots here, we can just connect the dots and create lines to create a square. If it's not a perfect square, don't stress about it. It's just practice, and it doesn't really matter. Just let go of the perfection, as we always say. So for this pattern in particular, what we're gonna be doing first, it's creating circles. So we're gonna be creating different size of circles like this. Bigger one, medium, small, in different places within the square. You can even do some that might be joined to one of the edges. That's totally fine. There. We don't want to completely fill it with circles because now we're gonna create something else. So now we're gonna be doing some waves. And with the waves, we're gonna create the waves, and when we're reaching a circle, we're gonna pretend that we're following the wave under the circle, so without crossing a line over the circle, and then continuing with the wave. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So here I'm just gonna dodge that circle there, but here, for example, I'm gonna pretend that the wave turned around, came this way and this way, just like so. So you can see that I'm not drawing on top of the circles. And now we're gonna continue doing pretty much the same. Once we have the first wave, then we follow it through to one side and then to the other. And for this, I started using a 0.5, but because this is a really small square, I'm gonna change it and use a 0.3 because it's gonna allow me to be a little bit more detailed in the process. And just make sure that you're comfortable when you're doing this pattern. So if you need to turn around your sketchbook, paper, or anything that you're using, that you're doing that as well. And remember to go slow. Remember to breathe and try to do the lines as close to each other as possible without touching. And if it's not a perfect line, it doesn't matter. Remember, it doesn't matter. What it matters is that you're getting into the present moment and that you're enjoying what you're doing. You're letting your creativity flow. When you get here now to this point, you can just do okay. Hey, I was concentrating. When you get to this point here, now that we're out of the circle, now you can just create a wave as well. And then the lines are going to start being shorter and shorter at one point because we're going to start reaching the end of the square, the edge of it. Remember to breathe. Remember to go slow. you can see that this is the first half of it, because for me it's easier to go that way as I'm right-handed. I'm just gonna flip it over because it's gonna be easier for me to go around in the waves. Just remember to skip the little circles. And you can see, like, even doing that small change of your hand gets used to doing certain patterns. So when you start going to the other side, it's like, oh, where are we leading with this? So just observe your thoughts while you're doing this. It's very interesting. It's almost like brushing your teeth with your left hand if you are right-handed, or the other way around if you're left-handed, right? But my loves, this will keep you young. Remember to give yourself this time to be present. And congratulations for being here practicing today. It's one of the most wonderful gifts you can give yourself. Time for yourself to unwind, to relax, to let all the thoughts of your mind leave the head of yours. Just be present. And if your design doesn't look like mine, it doesn't matter. We're all different. We're all perfect just the way we are. So don't be hard on yourself. The kinder you are with yourself, the kinder you are with other people, the kinder the world transforms. Okay. So this is basically the second pattern of this series, and just to finish it off, here is where we can just add some shading with a pencil. So I'm gonna do shadings on this side, on the right side a little bit, kind of like this, just to give it some depth to the drawing, kind of like if the little circles were pretty much floating over the waves. You can do it to another side, however you prefer. There we go. And this is how it's looking, the second design. Stay tuned for the third design video. Have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, whatever you're in the world, and I'll see you next time.